If you think most millionaires are tech bros, Wall Street guys, or kids born into money, think again. Most millionaires aren't even doctors, athletes, or lawyers like everyone thinks. The real millionaires aren't making headlines or flexing on Instagram. Chances are, you've walked right past 10 of them and had no idea. According to the Millionaire Next Door, the vast majority of millionaires live modestly, spend intentionally, and work jobs most people overlook. They don't chase status, they build net worth. And more often than not, they do it on middle-class incomes. In this video, we're breaking down what kinds of jobs real millionaires have based on the findings in the Millionaire Next Door. We'll separate perception from reality and go job by job through what built their wealth. Let's get into what jobs millionaires really do, while everyone else keeps pretending. Check out the full details by visiting the link in the description. What the Millionaire Next Door taught us about wealth. The Millionaire Next Door was written by Dr. Thomas Stanley and Dr. William Danko, two guys who didn't just guess what millionaires were like, they asked them directly. They interviewed and surveyed thousands of actual millionaires and let the data tell the story. They found that most wealthy people don't earn 6 or 7 figures a year, and they're definitely not living the dream lifestyle. These people are frugal, disciplined, and far more focused on saving than spending. The book doesn't try to sell you a shortcut. It's a field guide to what real wealth building actually looks like. Stanley and Danko created a simple formula to measure real wealth. Net worth is equal to age times pre-tax income divided by 10. If you're not hitting that number, you're what they call an underaccumulator of wealth, someone earning a lot but keeping very little. The goal? Be a prodigious accumulator of wealth. The real millionaires didn't have to talk about being rich. Their portfolios did the talking, and most of them got there doing work you'd never expect. How the Millionaire Next Door set my plan in motion. I read The Millionaire Next Door when I was still in high school. While other kids were comparing colleges, I was figuring out how much I needed to save to retire early. I wasn't making 6 figures in my 20s. Far from it. I didn't break $50,000 until my 30s. But I still became a liquid millionaire before 40 because I followed what worked. Buying used cars, tracking net worth, investing regularly, and ignoring what finance experts love to shout on TV. The biggest shift came when I realized I didn't have to chase status. I just needed to keep control. And while everyone else was upgrading everything, I was upgrading my net worth. Reading that book didn't just give me advice. It gave me a plan. A blueprint that actually worked because it was based on what real millionaires actually do. The jobs of millionaires aren't what people think. Ask most people what millionaires do for a living, and the answers are laughably off. They'll rattle off surgeons, athletes, investment bankers, tech founders, or something with a private jet and a Rolex. It makes sense. We're constantly fed the image of rich people living in mansions and driving nice cars. What people miss is that wealth and fame rarely show up in the same room. The richest people in your city probably don't even use Instagram. Here are some careers people assume lead to wealth, but usually don't. Doctors and lawyers often aren't millionaires. Doctors and lawyers check all the boxes people associate with wealth: prestigious degrees, high income, and professional status. But they also carry student loans the size of small mortgages and a lifestyle that burns through cash faster than it comes in. They also get a very late start on earning, and thus on building wealth. Fancy cars, private schools, second homes, they start to feel required when everyone around you is doing the same thing. These careers can absolutely lead to wealth, but most who pursue them don't build it. That's not a knock on the profession. It's just a reality about spending habits and pressure. Being paid well doesn't matter much if you're constantly spending to prove it. Corporate executives struggle with lifestyle creep. Plenty of people in corporate leadership roles make great money, but they also fall into the trap of needing to look like they make great money. Suits, country clubs, gated communities, lavish holidays, they all become normal, not optional. Promotions come with raises, but also with higher expenses and bigger expectations. A title might say VP, but the financials often scream one missed bonus away from broke. These roles can build wealth, but they often don't because people get caught chasing image instead of value. It's hard to break free when your entire network lives the same way. Financial advisors and financial planners usually aren't millionaires. This one is unfortunate in my opinion. Financial advisors and planners don't rank among the millionaire professions in the Millionaire Next Door. Many work as salaried employees rather than entrepreneurs, lacking the scalable income potential of business owners who reinvest profits. The book also stresses frugality, a challenge for advisors pressured to flaunt success. Think luxury cars or upscale offices, making them income statement affluent rather than balance sheet affluent. I spent my career in financial services before retiring at 42. So this is one I'm very familiar with. The truth is, financial advisors' success isn't measured in client returns. Instead, it is measured in their ability to gather assets and retain clients. In other words, financial advisors do not need to be good with money. They need to be good with people. Tech and startup founders are rare outliers. There's this myth that tech is the golden ticket. That happens to a small number of people and they get the headlines. Most of the people working in startups barely get equity worth cashing out, let alone life-changing wealth. They work long hours, live in expensive cities, and have unstable pay. The success stories are loud, but the rest are just grinding away on someone else's dream. It's not a reliable path to becoming a millionaire. Social media stars and influencers burn fast. They might have six-figure sponsorships and millions of followers, but their money is often as temporary as their trending status. It's a constant hustle, new content, new brand deals, always selling something to stay relevant. Most influencers spend like the income will last forever, but the attention rarely does. Very few build wealth that outlives their platform. They're not managing investments or stacking assets. They're performing. Once the algorithm stops loving them, so does the money. High income does not equal high net worth. These messes people up the most. A $250,000 salary feels like winning the game. But if you're spending $240,000 of it every year, you're broke with better clothes. Wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. The book nailed this. It's full of people earning six figures who are still living paycheck to paycheck, while others with modest incomes quietly build seven-figure net worths. Income is flashy, net worth is freedom. Jobs of millionaires, according to the Millionaire Next Door. The millionaires in this book weren't chasing fame, clout, or the hottest job title. They weren't trying to impress anyone. They were trying to build something that lasted. Most of them didn't earn outrageous salaries. What they did have was control over their spending, ownership over their time, and a deep understanding of value. They picked jobs that gave them stability and freedom, not just a big paycheck. Here are the jobs they chose that actually built real, lasting wealth. Number 1. Engineers. Engineers show up in the data again and again. Their work is usually behind the scenes, but their wealth-building habits are right out front. They earn a solid income. They think analytically, and they don't feel pressure to show off. They solve problems for a living, so it makes sense they'd apply that logic to their money. Most engineers live on less than they make, invest early, and stay consistent. No flash, just formulas that work. Number 2. Accountants. Accountants don't just balance other people's books. They manage their own with precision. They know exactly where their money goes, what taxes will cost them, and how to make the numbers work. That edge adds up fast. Many own small firms or consult independently, which gives them control over their income. They're not trying to get rich quick, they're trying to get rich for sure. And that mindset is why they quietly stack wealth. Number 3. Teachers. This one surprises a lot of people, but it shouldn't. Teachers don't make a ton, but they know how to stretch a dollar and stay out of debt. They usually have pensions, low housing expectations, and a healthy disrespect for lifestyle inflation. Most teachers aren't chasing trends. They're focused on security. When you pair consistent income with disciplined habits, the numbers start to work. Over decades, that adds up to 7 figures more often than you'd think. Number 4. Managers, mid-level. Middle managers aren't flashy, but they're everywhere, and a lot of them are rich. They earn steady paychecks, avoid massive financial swings, and don't feel the need to impress the boardroom. These roles don't come with private jets, but they come with stability, and that's one of the most underrated assets in wealth building. Many stays in the same house, drive the same car, and invest like clockwork. While others chase promotions and burnout, they quietly hit financial independence. Number 5. Small business owners. The data is clear. Owning a boring business is still one of the best ways to build real wealth. Think plumbing, HVAC, landscaping, or local repair shops. These owners aren't trying to scale into Silicon Valley unicorns. They're focused on cash flow, keeping expenses low, and controlling every dollar. A good small business pays the bills, builds equity, and becomes a legacy if run right. Millionaires who go this route usually fly under the radar, but they're often the wealthiest people in the room. Number 6. Farmers. Farmers don't wear suits, and they don't get featured in finance podcasts, but they know how to grow more than crops. They understand patience, delayed gratification, and the power of long-term thinking. Land ownership alone can turn into serious wealth over time. Many live frugally, reinvest in their operations, and avoid the consumer debt trap entirely. Their wealth is quiet, often tied to assets that appreciate while others are depreciating cars and gadgets. It's not fast money, but it's real money. Number 7. Auctioneers and mobile home park owners. These are the millionaires no one sees coming. Auctioneers work lean and fast, they know how to move product, close deals, and pocket profits without overhead crushing them. It's not a job that turns heads, but it absolutely turns a profit when done right. Mobile home park owners operate in a space most investors ignore, which is exactly why it works. The margins are strong, the demand is steady, and the costs stay manageable. It's not sexy, but neither is working forever, and these people aren't. Number 8. Real estate investors. Millionaires love real estate, but not the HGTV version. They're not flipping mansions or building luxury condos. They're buying rental properties, managing them like businesses, and stacking income month after month. Real estate gives them leverage, cash flow, and long-term appreciation, all without needing to hit the lottery at work. Many of them start with one property and grow slow, focused on control and smart financing. It's a grind, but it's a grind that pays them while they sleep. Number 9. Contractors and builders. These are hands-on people who build wealth the same way they build homes, one solid layer at a time. They work for themselves, take pride in what they do, and understand the value of owning the job instead of just showing up for it. Most have low overhead and high flexibility, which means they keep more of what they earn. They don't need a finance degree to know when something makes money. They track expenses like a hawk and stay booked through word of mouth, not billboards. They're not chasing scale, they're chasing freedom. Number 10. Commission-based sales professionals. The book argues that financial success is less about earning a high salary and more about disciplined spending and investing habits. Salespeople are an interesting group. Most salespeople fall into the category of high income, low net worth. But the salespeople who own their own businesses do show up more commonly as a job of millionaires. Many millionaires profiled in the book were self-employed, and a significant number worked in sales-related fields like wholesale distribution, business services, and various trades. So, sales is not really a path to becoming a millionaire, but owning the company is. Number 11. Skilled tradespeople. Plumbers, electricians, mechanics, welders, this is where blue-collar meets green numbers. These jobs don't require Ivy League degrees or startup pitch decks. What they do require is skill, discipline, and the ability to manage a business without letting ego get in the way. Many tradespeople work for themselves or start small crews, controlling their time and income without corporate nonsense. They don't waste time chasing clout. They chase paid invoices and healthy margins, and a lot of them end up with more wealth than the managers who look down on their work. What millionaires really do for a living. Millionaires aren't chasing job titles, they're chasing freedom. They don't need applause or status symbols to feel successful. Most of them figured out early that looking rich is expensive and being rich is quiet. They chose work that gave them control, consistency, and cash flow, not hype. The millionaire next door might run a plumbing business, manage rental properties, or teach high school math. And while everyone else is showing off, they're showing up, stacking wealth one decision at a time. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget the link in the description.